It's time for Animaniacs, and we're really making tracks. Let's go all around the earth, from Alaska down to Perth. We're traveling maniacs. Come join us on a journey as we race around the globe. You may meet an attorney or an Eskimo named Joe. We'll go to Bora Bora or maybe Kokomo. We promise not to bore you, but of course you never know. We're traveling maniacs, from Bombay to Halifax. Board a bus or take a yak, or just jump on Wakko's back. And don't forget the snacks. From Canada to Paraguay and places in between. From India to Mozambique, you'll see just what we mean. It's fun to visit countries that you have never seen. But if you drink the water there, you might turn slightly green. We're traveling maniacs. We'll have knapsacks on our backs. We'll leave raisins in our tracks from the trail mix in our slacks. We're Animani, totally insane.
Let's not miss our planey.
Animaniacs, bring your backpacks.
It's a quiet, peaceful night. The moon is shining bright, giving not a hint of what's in store. A few hours before morning, without a single warning, something strange begins to move the floor. A quake, the house begins to shake. You're bouncing across the floor and watching all your dishes break. You're sleeping, there's a quake, you're instantly awake. You're leaping out of bed and shouting, oh, for heaven's sake! I ran outside with neighbors, their faces filled with shocks. That's because I'm standing there in nothing but my socks. A quake, this must be a mistake. Just feel the ground go up and down, won't someone hit the brake? A quake, oh, what a mess they make. The bricks, the walls, the chimney falls, destruction in its wake. I did not have insurance, I called them from the scene. And suddenly I'm listening to an answering machine say, too late, you shouldn't ought to wait. Cause now you're stuck, we wish you luck, here comes a 6.8. Whose fault? Blame it on the fault. Cause Mr. Richter can't predict they're kicking our asphalt. Seismologists all say tectonic plates are in between. An encroaching crustal mantle, yeah, so what the heck's that mean? It means a quake.
Oh, really? Yeah, no fake. We kind of had that feeling when the ground began to shake.
And so we wait, resign ourselves to fate, because our lawn is sitting on a continental plate. We shivered through a blizzard, went swimming in a flood. Then we blew off a hurricane, and now we hear a thud of a quake. How much more can we take? We thought that we had seen it all, but this one takes the cake. The dirt, the rocks, those crazy aftershocks. It's just a planet moving granite several city blocks.
Now the town is falling down while the ground moves around. We won't let it get us down. Get beneath the doorframe.
A quake, it's time to pull up stake.
The worst is over.
We don't buy it, we're fed up, we can't deny it. We just want some peace and quiet. So we're moving to Beirut.
And now, the nations of the world, brought to you by Yakko Warner.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam. Norway and Sweden and Iceland and Finland and Germany now one piece. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey and Greece. Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman. Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq and Iran. There's Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait and Bahrain. The Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium and Portugal, France, England, Denmark and Spain. India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal, and Bhutan, Cambodia, Malaysia, then Bangladesh, Asia, and China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Laos, and Tibet, Indonesia, the Philippine Islands, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, New Guinea, Sumatra, New Zealand, and Borneo, and Vietnam, Tunisia, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia, Swaziland, Gambia, Guinea, Algeria, Ghana. Grundy, Lesotho, and Malawi, Togo, the Spanish Sahara is gone. Nigeria, Chad and Liberia, Egypt, Benin and Gabon, Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya and Mali, Sierra Leone and Algiers, Dahomey, Namibia, Senegal, Libya, Cameroon, Congo, Zaire, Ethiopia, Guinea-Bissau, Madagascar, Rwanda, Major and Cayman, Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Yugoslavia, Crete, Mauritania, then Transylvania, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, and Palestine, Fiji, Australia, Sudan. There's a word in every language, a word that you should know, a word that means you're friendly, a word used high and low, though the way to say it varies most everywhere you go. Its meaning never changes, and that word is
Hello! Hello, 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 hello.
In Germany, it's Guten Tag, which also means good day. Ni hao is exactly how hello sounds in Taipei. In Portugal, it's hola. In Arabic, salam. Saying bravo means hello in Macedonian. It's aloha in Hawaii. They say asu in Greece. In Israel, the word shalom, and that means peace. The Italians have buongiorno. The Viennese servus. When you're at the Eiffel Tower, just smile and say salut.
Hello, 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 hello.
In Nepal, they say namaste. In Sweden, good dag. In Thailand, sabayderu, dobry den. In Prague, in the Spanish language, hola. The Netherlands, it's dag. In Japanese, konnichiwa. And hey, in Little Rock, when you say uhaligani, Swahili is the tongue. In Russian, it's zdravstvuyte, which sounds way better sung. If you're ever in Korea, annyeonghaseyo. And in some parts of Brooklyn, hello is just plain yo.
Hello, 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 hello. Though the way to say it varies most everywhere you go, its meaning never changes. Hello, hello, hello. Goodbye. Lake Titicaca, oh Lake Titicaca, it's between Bolivia and Peru. Lake Titicaca, oh Lake Titicaca, with waters tranquil and blue. Oh Lake Titicaca, yes Lake Titicaca, why do we sing of its fame? Lake Titicaca, oh Lake Titicaca, 'cause we really like saying its name. Titicaca!
There once was a man, his name was Magellan, a Portuguese skipper, the girls found him cute. He sailed with 5 ships to find the East Indies, then come back to Spain with a bounty of loot.
Whoopee-tie-yi-yo, oh happy Magellan, starting your journey with hardly a care. Whoopee-tie-yi-yo, strong brave Magellan, you'll find the East Indies, you just don't know where.
They crossed the Atlantic and spotted a country. Magellan said,
It's the East Indies at last!
but then someone shouted,
Hey, that's Argentina.
Magellan got cranky and chopped down the mast.
Whoopee-tie-yi-yo, settle down Magellan, put down that axe, there's no time to despair. Whoopee-tie-yi-yo, keep trying Magellan, you'll find the East Indies, you just don't know where.
A great storm arose in the mighty Pacific. The 5 little ships were diminished to 3. At last land was sighted, Magellan was happy, but then someone shouted,
Hey, that's Chile.
Whoopee-tie-yi-yo, cheer up Magellan, check out your map and don't tear out your hair. Whoopee-tie-yi-yo, keep trying Magellan, you'll find the East Indies, you just don't know where.
It took them 5 months, but they crossed the Pacific. They spotted a land that was dotted with palms. Magellan proclaimed,
Yes, that's the East Indies!
but then someone shouted,
Hey, I think that's Guam.
Ay, 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 oops, Magellan, your fun little journey's become a nightmare. Whoopee-tie-yi-yo, keep trying Magellan, you'll find the East Indies, you just don't know where.
They sailed due west to the Philippine Islands. Magellan was pleased as the natives drew near, But then someone shouted,
I think they're attacking.
Magellan said, and got hit by a spear.
Whoopie-tie-yi-yo, farewell Magellan, you almost made it, it's really not fair. Whoopie-tie-yi-yo, oh ghost of Magellan, the East Indies Islands were right over there.
It's raining, it's pouring, don't sing a song that's boring.
There's a plane up in Maine where they're tiny drops of rain forming ripples in a puddle that they make. And that puddle grows beyond into something called a pond, spreading outward till it turns into a lake. When that lake springs a leak, then it forms a little creek, which goes rushing down and turns into a stream. And the water keeps on flowing so that trees can keep on growing in a pattern that is showing nature's scheme. And every flower, every weed get the water that they need from that little tiny stream which trickles by.
And in the swamp it picks up germs from bacteria and worms, and if you drink it you'll get really sick and die.
Hey, this is my song! The stream joins a river and goes racing to deliver all the water as it rushes to the sea. Then it flows into a bay where it's quickly swept away to the ocean filled with motion swirling free. Then the sun shines on down, putting heat upon the ground and evaporating mist into the air. And the water starts to rise as it lifts into the skies, and soon there is rain on that plain up in Maine.
And that rain is a pain, so why don't they build a drain?
For water has position, which is always in transition from the mountains to the oceans to the sky.
And it's something you can drink or that you spit into the sink. If you control the way it goes, you can shoot it out your nose if you try.
And now you both can say goodbye. Yeah!
And now, Wakko Warner with the 50 U.S. states and their capitals.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, and Columbus is the capital of Ohio. There's Montgomery, Alabama, south of Helena, Montana. Then there's Denver, Colorado, under Boise, Idaho. Texas has Austin, then we go north to Massachusetts, Boston, and Albany, New York. Tallahassee, Florida, and Washington, D.C. Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Nashville, Tennessee. Elvis used to hang out there a lot, you know. Trenton's in New Jersey, north of Jefferson, Missouri. You got Richmond in Virginia, South Dakota has Pierre. Harrisburg's in Pennsylvania, and Augusta's up in Maine. And here is Providence, Rhode Island, next to Dover, Delaware. Concord, New Hampshire, just a quick jaunt to Montpelier, which is up in Vermont. Hartford's in Connecticut, so pretty in the fall. And Kansas has Topeka, Minnesota has St. Paul. Juneau's in Alaska, and there's Lincoln in Nebraska, and it's Raleigh out in North Carolina, and then there's Madison, Wisconsin, and Olympia in Washington, Phoenix, Arizona, and Lansing, Michigan. Here's Honolulu, Hawaii's a joy, Jackson, Mississippi, and Springfield, Illinois, South Carolina with Columbia down the way, and Annapolis and Maryland on Chesapeake Bay. They have wonderful clam chowder. Cheyenne is in Wyoming, and perhaps you make your home in Salt Lake City out in Utah where the buffalo roam. Atlanta's down in Georgia, and there's Bismarck, North Dakota, and you can live in Frankfort in your old Kentucky home. Salem in Oregon, from there we join. Little Rock in Arkansas, Iowa's got Des Moines, Sacramento, California, Oklahoma and its city, Charleston, West Virginia, and Nevada, Carson City. That's all the capitals there are.
Bag of fun down by the East Riverside. That United Nations there drives away a fella's cares. 183 countries meet down by the East Riverside, New York off 42nd Street.
See foreign states with a grudge down by the East Riverside. United Nations tries to fix wars, famine, and oil slicks. Boutros, golly gee. Down by the East Riverside leads the General Assembly.
The gift shop will take traveler's checks down by the East Riverside. German tourists were not rare, buying t-shirts and flatware, ate pastry from Liberia. Down by the East Riverside at the UN cafeteria.
Book that tour with some Dutch down by the East Riverside. We had a guy from Japan who had a decent pension plan, so costly artwork from Brazil. Down by the East Riverside, on which my soda I did spill. You and me, we had a bag of fun down by the East Riverside. So flags on shiny poles from lands with lofty goals. We'll beat our swords into liverwurst down by the East Riverside, but no one wants to be the first. But then I guess it could be worse. We could still sing one more verse, you and me.
Everybody lives on a street, in a city or a village or a town for what it's worth. And they're all inside a country which is part of a continent that sits upon a planet known as Earth. And the Earth is a ball full of oceans and some mountains which is out there spinning silently in space. And living on that Earth are the plants and the animals and also the entire human race. It's a great big universe and we're all really puny. We're just tiny little specks about the size of Mickey Rooney. It's big and black and inky and we are small and dinky. It's a big universe and we're not. And we're part of a vast interplanetary system stretching 700 billion miles long. With 9 planets and a sun, we think the Earth's the only one that has life on it, although we could be wrong. Across the interstellar voids are a billion asteroids, including meteors and Halley's Comet, too. And there's over 50 moons floating out there like balloons in a panoramic trillion-mile view. And still it's all a speck amid 100 billion stars in a galaxy we call the Milky Way. It's 60,000 trillion miles from one end to the other, and still that's just a fraction of the way. 'Cause there's 100 billion galaxies that stretch across the sky, filled with constellations, planets, moons, and stars. And still the universe extends to a place that never ends, which is maybe just inside a little jar.
It's a great big universe and we're all really puny. We're just tiny little specks about the size of Mickey Rooney. Though we don't know how we got here, we're an important part here. It's a big universe and it's ours. I'll take an island, Staten or Ireland, Japan and Cyprus too, with water on 4 sides, not 3 like peninsulas do. Yeah! I'll take Greenland, it's not a mean land, it's east of Baffin Bay, and Easter Island's got heads big as a Circle K. Crete belongs to Greece, while Jamaica has Kingston Bay. Brando lives in Fiji, they say. Cuba's in the water, doing what it oughta. Old Indonesia is bound to please ya. Stop by for Java and cream, while the Philippines got islands coming out of their jeans. Take it, boys! Play, magic fingers, play. Oh, swinging! Let's hear it for the band, folks. All right! You keep the landmass, I'll take a sandwich island near the cold South Pole. If you're looking for me, try an island anywhere on the globe.
Got a tramp steamer, my ship's called Hal.
40 miles on the Panama Canal.
Got a cargo of sodas, they are locale.
40 miles on the Panama Canal.
Sailing across the Caribbean Sea to the Pacific in a jiffy, through Panama, but not on land. I'd look silly with my ship in the sand.
Yo, Hal, try the canal. Yo, Hal, the canal is your pal. You can sail a cargo ship from sea to shining sea through the Panama Canal for a nominal fee.
You enter a lock, it's a ship corral.
40 miles on the Panama Canal.
You pay your money, then get a decal.
40 miles on the Panama Canal.
You cross the locks, they number 3, full of water for you and me. 100 feet wide, 41 feet deep, water enough to drench a sheet.
I my luck, up goes the ship. No luck, the ship takes a dip. First they raise the water level, then lower it again. Cross the Panama Canal, it's really zen.
We pass the locks with good morale.
40 miles on the Panama Canal.
The crew yells out,
Thank you, Hal! 40 miles on the Panama Canal.
"You're welcome, men. Wasn't that fun? 40 miles, our voyage is done. From Colon now, past Balboa. Adios, Panama, so long, aloha." There are 50,000 different kinds of animals, and there are 50,000 more that used to be. There's 100 million ants and a half a billion plants and a lot of fish down underneath the sea. There's gotta be a couple million spiders, 150 million butterflies and bees, and a bunch of different mammals like those elephants and camels, and approximately 50 billion trees.
But there is only one of you that makes you special. You stand out among the other things, it's true. Yes, the universe is large, and whoever is in charge made lots of things, but only one of you.
A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, 1,000 and a million and a billion or more. There's a trillion drops of water in the ocean, and a billion trillion molecules of air. There are insects here en masse, and a trillion blades of grass, and 1,000 strands in every head of hair. A lot of little grains of dirt make up this planet, a billion atoms on the head of every pin. A million birds that all can fly, a trillion stars up in the sky, and all the many different people there have been.
But there is only one of you that makes you special. Yes, there is nothing else exactly like you are. 'Cause you're unique and you're terrific and you're kind of real specific. 'Cause there's no one else the same as the person you became. In fact, you're kind of weird,
But we like you just the same.
'cause you're the only one of you there are. Ba-ba-doom, ba-ba-doom, ba-ba-doo-ba.